We are now recording the October 8th, 2021 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Today we have Stephen and Damon from Divvy with us. We're going to see a demo. So what do you guys got for us?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, right?
Happy Friday. Woo!
Well, we're ecstatic to be with you as always. It's our honor and pleasure. Thanks for inviting us to your special group. It's a major honor. Like Gina was saying, we are from Divvy. Gina asked us to just pop in and just kind of explain what we do and how we could be a versatile tool for your firm, but really for your clients, and eliminate some pains and automate processes. I'll just do a brief intro on what Divvy is, what we do, kind of how we got started, where we're going, and then I can walk through a quick demo and show you, all the bells and whistles and how this could be applicable for your clients or even in your firm internally, and then go from there. So Divvy is essentially four things in one. We are expense management software, budgeting software, receipt capture software, and a smart corporate credit card all tied into one. And how we got started is our founder and CEO, Blake Murray. He used to own some pizza franchises at one point. These were an investment for him. They weren't his main gig. So he had other people running it. But the problem was these pizza franchises were hemorrhaging cash every month. No one was keeping track of receipts. They were overspending. The employees were interchanging credit cards. And so he'd find out 30 to 60 days later on what they've spent, and it was over the budget, and it's too late, right? And so he soon came to realize this was a big problem for a lot of businesses. He wasn't the only one experiencing this pain, and he wanted to create something where he could really have visibility and control. So he took it upon himself with his tech background to create the solution. So fast forward a few years later, we're now this system that we recently were acquired by Bill.com, which we're really excited about. That will further enhance our software. We're still two separate entities, so we're not even connected at all. That's a brief intro on what Divvy is, and kind of give you the example of how it can be beneficial for your clients. Depending on the size of the client, we've been proven to automate at least a couple hours a month per employee on expense reports. And obviously, the more employees you have, that multiplier comes in. So we've known to save businesses dozens to hundreds of hours a month and bringing that back so your employees can actually work rather than focusing on expense reports. Any questions so far? I can sit here on my pedestal and talk all day, but if you have questions along the way, I'm always happy to answer them. So don't think you just have to sit there and listen to me talk your ear off all day.
Steve, can I interject just real quick and just make sure that if anyone has any questions, go ahead and chat as Steve, and we'll take all the questions at the end.
Okay, awesome.
Thanks,
work? Damon.
Unless you'd rather do like a live Q&A.
No, that works too. I mean, whatever floats everyone's boat. I'm easy. Thumbs up.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. If you want, you can chat, or if you want to just blurt it out, go ahead and do that too.
We're good at blurting.
Okay.
Perfect. Go ahead and blurt. Awesome. Well, cool. I'll go ahead and share my screen with you guys. We'll hop right into the software. Share all the bells and whistles. Can you guys see that? It says company dashboard. You can nod your head or say yes or give a thumbs up.
Nice and
awesome. Clear. So this is the company dashboard of Divvy. Like I said, we are a smart corporate credit card. So we do have our own underwriting team. There's like 10 different ways your clients can get approved for a line of credit. If for whatever reason your client doesn't want a line of credit or you don't want a line of credit, we have like a pre-filled card feature where you can essentially preload a card with cash and just pay it down as you go. Whatever tickles your fancy, you could do a hybrid of both. We make it easy. We're really startup friendly, really nonprofit friendly. Just because of our flexibility and underwriting terms. And so I'm sure you all have clients in a wide range of industries. I typically like to use construction because it's a common one that a lot of, accounting bookkeeping firms have. So I'll just go ahead and use it like how that'd be applicable in their sense. And you can kind of think maybe for your clients that'd be applicable too. But let's just say our underwriting team underwrites this construction company a $50,000 line of credit. Could be more or less in real life. I'm just shooting from the hip here for an example for us, right? So again, Divvy is all about control and visibility. So once we get that $50,000 line of credit, we can take it and divide it up into smaller lines of credit, or what we call budgets. And so I can make a budget for anything, specific projects, travel, for specific teams, the company holiday party, you name it. I can make as many as I want, or I can just have one general budget, dump my whole line of credit in it and go from there. But you can see here, I've made all these different budgets. I've put a name on it and I've allocated some of my $50,000 into these different pools of budgets. And, as I'm sure your construction businesses typically have a lot of different places where they do expenses. A lot of it has to do with job material or travel. People travel all the time for construction. So let's just, for example, we've gone ahead and made a travel budget. Whether, depending on how in hands you are with your client, whether your client's running them themselves or you're actually running the full back office for them, you can go in, put a name on it and allocate how much of the funds you want from that budget. And so I can determine if I want this to be a monthly interval that resets every month, or it can just be a one-time fund that I pull out forever, or I can put an expiration date on it. Again, it's all about control and visibility, so you know what your budget is. So once we have established a budget, I can go ahead and start adding people to spend on behalf of this budget. So there's a people tab and a cards tab over here. And that's where I can add anyone I want to spend on behalf of the business, from the owner all the way down to the basic intern or subcontractor. And then from there, I can issue them a physical or virtual card they can spend with. And so I've added a few individuals to this budget because they need to travel with this business. And although I have a $5,000 limit in this budget, I don't necessarily want everyone to have full access to that $5,000 amount. So what I can do is cap everyone's cards to a specific limit. So you can see here, I have 5 individuals. Adam here, he's just a part-time employee. He's a college student. He's just trying to get internship credit. We've gone ahead and give him $150 for the month for travel. Jenny, she's one of our medium level employees. We've given her $900. Josh here, he's our foreman on the job. We'll give him $2,000, and I can go and save that.
It's great that you can put small limits on the lesser employees, so everyone can have a credit card and they're not coming back for reimbursements.
Correct.
Right.
And your question is like, why wouldn't they come back for reimbursements? Again, this is on the company's, line of credit. And the question comes like, well, how do I get my receipts to them when I use the make a transaction? So I'm going to load the mobile app here, and we incorporate a mobile app with it to make it truly work. Sorry, I should have had that preloaded beforehand, but while that loads, essentially what we're going to lead to, here we go. This is our mobile app. You can use it for Apple or Android, whatever tickles your fancy. But me as a spender, I can be a part of multiple different budgets that I can spend from, attached all to one card. And so you can see here, I'm part of 4 budgets, and I have different amounts in each budget. So the question goes, how do I organize that information when I make a transaction? So whenever I swipe my card, I'll get a push notification on my phone immediately in real time that I need to code a transaction. This is very different from your Expensify, your Concurs, or your Tallies, because this is all in real time, right at the point of sale, where typically with those other softwares, you're waiting at the soonest hours. And if you're waiting that long, you're typically waiting until the end of the month to do your expense report anyway. So I can go ahead and click on this, and obviously I have all the transaction information, the date, the amount, where it was at. And I can go right here, take a picture of the receipt right at the spot, point of sale, or upload it via my email, depending on how that receipt came through. Leave a note what it's for in the memo field. I know some of you just love memos. And put it in the correct budget it belongs in. And then I can attach it to the correct general ledger of my accounting software. Although I have about a dozen options here, I can limit it to just 1 or 2 to help my spender out so they don't get confused, because that can be very overwhelming for some people who are not financially savvy.
Right.
But literally, I've gone and done an expense report in 20 seconds or less right there. Captured all that information, and this integrates with QuickBooks Online and NetSuite. We will soon have a full integration with Desktop, Sage Intacct, and Xero by the end of the year. Any other software that we don't have a direct integration with yet, we can do a manual push though. Any questions with that? That all makes sense?
It all makes sense. It sounds wonderful that you can do it right then and there at the time of the transaction, and you don't have to go back a week later and try and remember, what did I do? What
Have
did I
to
get
teach
paid
them.
for?
Yeah. Do it instantly.
Yeah.
And it has to be easy. Like, one of the things that I like is I may have a very complex chart of accounts in the accounting system, but I can customize my categories the way I want my employees or volunteers or whoever has a card to see. And then I map them behind the scenes. So I even have an account called, I have no idea. Because sometimes, it'll be very obvious which account they're supposed to select, and you don't want them to have too many things. And then, if they absolutely don't know, they just, I have no idea. And then you hope that they fill out the memo to help you code it. But, and then, it's bright yellow because it's missing. You can set up rules. I love the way you can set up rules in the background saying, hey, I have to have a receipt, or it has to be coded, as the manager, I love those features.
It's great. I agree. So, I could be biased because I work for Divvy, but part of the reason I wanted to join Divvy is so I could see the real value in it, because I've owned a business myself and it sucks keeping track. Part of my language, it's horrible. To track receipts and manually input it and then capture it. This makes it so easy.
It eliminates the bank credit cards that drop in the middle of the month, and you're trying to do the books for the month, then you've got half of the information, not the other half. It it takes care of the receipt problem. It eliminates petty cash, reimbursing. You might get that one employee wants their American Express points, but if you run everything through the company, you don't have to have all that reimbursement, payables, thing. And I have one museum where I looked at their petty cash. I'm like, who's using petty cash? It's like, well, they've got a yard guy that comes, a team that comes every week, and he's putting gas in the mowers that belong to the museum. And so we gave him a card. And so one of the board members was like, what do you mean you gave him a card? The grounds guy. And I'm like, you don't understand, that card could have zero budget until the day he needs to go to the gas station. And he just, with the app or text them and says, hey, I'm running to go get gas. And you just put, $30 on his card. And he hasn't been exposed to our line of credit. It's just incredible.
Yeah, just like she was saying, if I need money on my card, so you can see here, I have $8.51. I can request funds. Who's ever in charge of that budget I showed you made, I can request it. And then the point of whoever's running that budget, we're going to look at their point of view now. You can go in, you can see these people requesting funds to have money added to their card. And so you can see here, Ryan Mullen wants $50 from the sales budget. We have plenty of funds available. It shows to buy drinks to close the deal. I can go ahead and approve that in real time. And when I click that approve, those funds are available immediately on the spot.
Instant. They can be in line at the cash register.
Real time.
I need more budget. Click.
I just used that feature today. I took about 8 people to lunch today for Divvy, and I went $13 over my budget, and I had to ask for $13 from my manager, and he approved it immediately, and I was able to make sure my card wasn't declined.
That's nice. That's real.
I started thinking, you start thinking about all kinds of uses, like for a nonprofit, and you're going to have a gala, and you have a fundraising committee, and you've got, this group of people that's putting together this event, and you can just get them all their own card. They don't have to be an employee, and then control the use of that card, and then you're just done. Lovely.
Super smooth.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey.
How much are they paying you?
Well, I am a, what do you call me? A referrer?
You're a partner.
A partner. And,
You know I love you, honey.
We'll talk about that before they leave, because as accountants, and I've been a heavy user and just want my clients using it. So I went ahead and became a partner. So, but yeah, I don't do it. I don't recommend it.
And
I'm a partner, I recommend it because my bookkeepers love it.
Right. Oh, and Divvy is all about saving money, automating the process, and making everyone's lives easier. In fact, I typically share this at the end of a presentation, but Divvy is actually a free software. And you're probably thinking to yourself, like, how is that possible? So with our credit cards, obviously we use our smart credit card here in the software. Whenever I swipe my card, for example, if I go to Home Depot, swipe my card, Home Depot will pay Divvy 2 to 3% on that transaction. And so that makes it so the software is free. We also don't have any interest charges because we require the line of credit be paid off by the end of the month every month. And so there's no interest charges. The only time that you would ever, pay something to Divvy is if you're late on your payment. That's like a 2 to 3% penalty fee. Or if you wanted to expedite a physical credit card to one of your spenders. And that's just for logistics reasons, obviously, for shipping costs. And so, the value add there is you have this free tool. You could use this as this tool to also in your advisory services, if you provide that, you could help advise your clients on how they're spending, and you can track what they're spending through the budgets feature and through their transactions tab, which we have here. So quite a revolutionary tool, really, especially you can't get much better than free.
You get a line of credit for free. Where else can you do that?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And it's been an easy process with my clients so far. But tell them. Well, I'm going to interrupt.
No, go ahead. Show them what did you want me to show them?
The virtual cards.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, I put my website, which was like, I forget what the fee was, $25 or something a month. And I made a Divvy card just for them, a virtual number just for them. And I said that it can't go over $30. Well, they increased my fee without any notification, and the credit card declined.
Sarah, let me carry the water for a second for you, okay? Yesterday, no, 2 days ago, when the Dodgers game was on,
Mhm.
I wanted to sign up for a streaming service, and I used the virtual card because I'm like, I'm not paying this bill ever. I'm
for a
like, here's my
trial.
free trial. Yeah, here's
For
my
the
free trial. If you want to try to
Genius.
think you're gonna no, I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
I used a Divvy virtual card.
Mhm. Perfect for that because
I love that.
a lot of times
It's
you test
one
out software.
less website in the world that has my credit card.
Right.
That's
And
genius.
sometimes
Yeah,
you might want the software and you are just trying it out, but then you forget that stupid 14-day limit. And then I decided not to use it. And bam, they got you.
And they're banking on that,
Oh,
So-
yeah.
Of course they are.
Mm-hmm.
So virtual cards are really cool. You can have, like I said, you can have a physical card. It's really easy to order them. You click on the person's name you've added in the system, click order, put the shipping method and the address, either in a few days. But again, virtual cards, I can make it in less than 2 minutes and start spending immediately.
Mhm.
So whether you want to virtual cards are great for a few different ways. So one, if you don't want to give a physical card to a spender, it's just kind of a temporary thing that they might have this credit card information. Or if you have like active subscriptions that renew each week that you don't want on a physical card. So maybe you have Microsoft Office 365. Some of your clients might have like their accounting software, bill.com. Anything you say there. I'm going to go ahead and just put office supplies here. And so when I go, I can attach it to the correct budget that it goes to. So I'll attach it to the office supply budget. And from here, I can determine if I want a burner card or a subscription card. Burner means it expires in 6 days. So this is what, Ernest is talking about. I put that card in, there's no way they can charge me anything because that card's going to expire. And so I'm going ahead and buy office supplies. Although I have $1,300 available to spend out of my budget, I'm only going to put $150. I want some ink and I want some paper. That's all I want. I'll assign a card holder, put in the categories I want in to fill my accounting software. I'll create the card, and that card will become available immediately right here in my mobile app. I can go click on my wallet, virtual cards. You'll see all these other cards I've created. I'll click on one. There'll be the amount I have available in my budget, and there'll be the card number right there on the spot. And I can add this to my smartphone for Google or Apple Pay and do tapless payments, which is awesome. I can obviously do online transactions. It says tap to copy right there. I can tap and copy that, do my online shopping, whatever I need to do. And then worst case scenario, I have this card. I can use at the cash register and I can read it to them worst case scenario if they don't have the Apple or Google Pay feature. And you saw how easy I made that. It was literally that quick. I can also delete it just as quickly if I suspect fraud or if I don't want this card to be available anymore.
So Google Pay, but not Apple Pay?
No, you can have both Google Pay or Apple Pay.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
Mhm.
Sorry. I might have mumbled it. I have a problem. I speak fast and I mumble, I just get so excited, it's the weekend.
Well, I mean, it's very important to protect your physical card.
Right.
And how many times do we have clients who's, we suspect fraud, boom, everybody's card's canceled, all the time. So, it really mitigates that, especially when you're buying things online.
Yep. This protects
There's
your
your
bottom
danger.
for sure.
Mhm.
I just
That's
look
why.
at spending limits. The spending limits are what does it for
It's the
me.
spending limits.
Because you have vendors that will not ship unless they have a card up front, and you don't know what they're going to charge, so you can give them a limit and they can't go over it.
Mhm.
Yeah, you protect yourself. So it's really genius. That's awesome.
Hey, do me a favor, show me where you found the burner card feature.
Yeah. So so it's when you're setting up your card. So in order to get that feature, your budget has to be set on a monthly interval. Well, maybe not necessarily. Let's see. So let's go and create a card here for fun. Let's just call it gas. We'll attach it to the gas budget. And so it'd pop up here. So burner or subscription.
Oh, I see. Closes in 6 days. Yeah.
Yep.
I love
I don't have that option.
Or you can select a date. You don't have that
I
option?
don't have that option.
Okay, so let's go. That's probably because you are on a budget that's not reoccurring. Let's see here. I have one of those here somewhere. No, they're all reoccurring. Here we go. So again, when you make a budget, you determine if you want an monthly interval set or no interval. And so that's what happened on this. But do you have a thing that shows up like this? Funds expire on a select date.
And I left that screen.
So that's what should pop up for you if you don't have it. So again,
so I only have one budget. It's called admin, and it's recurring.
okay, so it's recurring. So that feature should, unless you have funds in like a money in the budget, it should pop up like one of those two ways. And you can select a date for it to expire. Do you see that?
Yeah, no, I'll play with it offline. I don't mean to sideswipe your demo.
No, that's what I'm here for. I'm happy to meet with you after too, and look at, if you want to share your screen. Yeah, awesome feature there. Transactions tabs option, because you can make whatever reports you want. So you can make it by individual, where they spent it, by what budget. I can see who's coded their transaction or not. If they're not being diligent about coding their transactions, I can send them push notifications, or I can just freeze their card on demand. If that'll make them
That's a good one.
really quickly, right?
And you can design that screen. You can pick your columns.
Yep, exactly. And you can put whatever you want to capture for the business.
Can you make it sync to QuickBooks automatically?
Yes.
You don't want it to do that.
You can make it sync as frequently as you want.
I don't want it to do that.
Really, I've never seen it actually sync automatically.
It doesn't, does it?
I'm not sure if that's a feature, Steve.
Are you sure? Well, isn't that part of the integration where you set up automatic syncs?
Because it's not. It doesn't interface with QBO as a bank feed per se, like a bank account or American Express or whatever. There's the integration, but if it were just me, I can see Ernest. It's just him. He knows it's perfect right out of the gate. He's going to fill out Divvy and he wants it in his accounting. I'm working with employees and staff and all that. They may forget their memo. They haven't put the receipt on there yet. They've picked the wrong account.
Well, can I say it the other way? Can I say it the other way? So Sarah's old school.
See, I don't want to touch that transaction.
Sarah's very old school. She's like, and God bless her, she knows I love her. But she's very much in the camp of, I'm going to control everything that goes into my books before it gets in my books. I'm putting it in there. I'm not doing bank feeds or anything else. But for the large number of people that do bank feeds, though, this interface is problematic because, if you're in QBO, you're expecting credit card information to flow through the bank thing, and you can pre-approve some things to flow through, but you can basically make it stop in your bank feed and go, yes, yes, yes. Oh, no, I'm changing that. And so I think that, so this interface with it not going through bank feeds is challenging because it's like a bank feed, but it's in a completely different application. That's my feedback.
You're going to touch and feel it and approve it in one or the other, right? So if I'm going to have to touch and feel it in QBO, it's actually more difficult to add more information on a bank feed in QBO than it is in Divvy. For me.
Agree to disagree.
Now, the thing is, if and I see his point, like say there's a charge to Shell Oil for fuel all the time. It's going to be the same every single time. And we can set those rules up in QBO and they come in through the bank feed and we don't even touch them. Yeah, just depends on the scenario. When you're working with different employees and company credit cards, yeah, I like a little bit more control before it hits my general ledger, because once it hits my general ledger, I have to then touch it again. I have to then bring it up and edit it, right?
So you want it to go in clean, and
I want it to go in clean.
later.
And I have, if I have a client with a lot of transactions, then I set it on a monthly paying schedule. So all the credit cards through Sunday night are ready Monday morning. It drafts automatically, which resets the monthly budget, by the way. And I can deal with small chunks of information, that way. But most of my clients, it drafts on the first day of the next month, and I just deal with the whole month. But it's in a spreadsheet situation, just like we're looking on that is the spreadsheet. I can tell if a card's missing or a receipt is missing or the account's missing. And then it's just a click.
Just a click. So I'm just going to ask the guys that can make this change. Any chance that you can actually have a setting to where you don't have to do that click?
We could choose.
Do the manual push.
Right. Meaning you don't have to set the approved status.
Right. So I don't have to go into bulk. I mean, so obviously,
Oh, like
when
this right here.
So in other words, you would want to just export and then do it all in QuickBooks, Ernest. That's what you're saying, Ernest, right?
What kind of timing would you want? Because don't you want to have
when it comes
time
across,
to put a memo or have time to code it?
Are we talking about auto sync still? Sorry, I was getting some more
Yeah.
information. Yeah, so they don't have an auto sync. I stand corrected, but it's made that way by design because, like you're saying, people, accountants want to review that information before it pushes over.
not all accountants do.
Well, we have enough pushback on that. We've allowed that.
So
would you show him, Steve, the ability to do bulk action? Because
No, I and that was a huge ad. Let me tell you, when I
Yeah.
used to have to do transaction by transaction, it was
Yeah.
a non-starter. So bulk action is a little bit better. But
you would like to bypass the status completely and just.
I just want to see it in QuickBooks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because immediately they know your vendor name, amount. And then you can like you said, you can let QBO then say based on the vendor, I think, I want it to post here. So
Rules.
Because I haven't even got half my accounts correctly synced into Divvy. So frankly,
Yeah, it's all
it never
set
actually
up.
has the right account when it's in Divvy anyhow. I always have to fix it in QuickBooks, which makes it a 3-touch operation, which really makes me crazy.
setup is important with all this stuff. Yeah.
we do. So we are always, the one thing about a partnership we love is we really value feedback from our partners, what can best serve them. And so, obviously majority has said they prefer it this way, but I would be, I don't see why we can't, obviously I'm not an engineer, product engineer, but, obviously maybe they could make a solution down the road where it's like, oh, you can have the option to auto sync if you want.
Yeah. I like options.
So,
Yeah, options are good. That's why I am an engineer, software engineer. So, having the option is better than not having the option.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's great feedback, Ernest. Appreciate that. Yeah, we'll run that up the chain.
Cool. Any other questions with transactions?
I think
No?
that's it.
Cool.
No, it's clean and,
Awesome.
intuitive. I mean, other than when I was learning how to set it up, I don't think I ever waded through your help. Mm-mm.
We do have this awesome reimbursement tool. I understand that, there's things that other cards can do that Divvy can't do. Like a Divvy card won't get you into the Sky Lounge at the Delta Sky Lounge for the Delta terminal at the airport, or make you look as bougie at the credit card when you drop that black card. And so we have this reimbursement tool. Obviously, Divvy is going to save you a ton of money, automate a lot of your processes, but we do have this reimbursement tool built in, so you can do, whether it's petty cash reimbursements, mileage, or those other off transactions you make for your business. And you can go in, fill out the custom information, attach it to a budget, attach your receipt, and then you can request this to be reimbursed by your administrator. And that can be reimbursed via your payroll software. And launching at some point this month, you should be able to do direct ACH to the individual.
Nice. Go into the mileage. I want to see what the mileage screen looks
Is
like.
it just
So it's very similar. Just put the trip date, how much miles it was, attach it to a budget that it belongs to. You'll attach the route to verify the mileage. So wherever you're driving
That's
to.
what I was looking for.
So I know I'll have to ask product. I know there was discussion about adding like an automatic tracker, kind of like Mile IQ at some point.
Yeah.
And so I want to look into
We're
that.
looking at an integration for Google Maps.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Nice.
Got that confirmed last week, actually. It came up as like, hey, it'd just be great if, we could just integrate Google Maps and then it would track the miles that way.
That'd be
That's
beautiful.
I have a client using Expensify. It's the only reason they won't leave Expensify is because they love the mileage reimbursement. Mhm.
That solves a whole nother problem.
Well, it solved. I forgot about that feature because it solves the ones that just have to use their own cards to get their mileage or their points.
Right. And
Now y'all have a program.
we do.
Mhm.
We actually do. So we are very competitive on points, and we actually have higher multipliers if you're paying it off quicker rather than opposed to the
That's
monthly
the other reason
payoff.
to do it on Mondays. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're doing it weekly, you can capture all these multipliers, which all these points can be redeemed for cash back, travel, statement credit, or gift cards.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much Divvy in a nutshell. I guess we did discuss partnerships earlier. If you're interested, we could discuss those. Yeah, I mean, for your clients, it's really, can't get much better than free. If you don't like it for whatever reason, there's no cost to getting out of it. So it's an awesome tool.
And they answer the phone. I mean, they answer their email, so their support's lovely.
That is, I'm glad you brought that up, Sarah. One point I was going to mention is part of the partner. So Steve is on the partner acquisition team, so we have a partner program that allows you to basically get a white glove experience at Divvy. So our support is top notch, but even our partners get even better support and their clients. And so Steve's on the acquisition team. I'm on the management team. So I manage a portfolio of accounting firms, bookkeepers, CPAs, outsourced CFOs, and business consultants that are just really excited about Divvy and what it could do for not only their firm, but and to help grow their business and move from more of a transactional firm to an advisory firm and free up some time, right? Everybody wants more time and less, I know I do, but free up, it's always good to free up that time so you can be more advisory and start having really, high level conversations. And then, so that's kind of what I do at Divvy and what Steve does. And you're welcome to answer any other questions or ask any other questions that you guys might have.
So if someone wants to become a partner, I will have Sarah's information at the bottom of the YouTube description, so they can contact you, Sarah, and get them going.
Mhm.
Cool.
Awesome. Any other questions, comments, concerns, worries, queries?
Oh, I'm just, every time we hear of a company that we really enjoy working with, and then we find out they're bought out. I mean, there's always that,
Yeah.
that apprehension.
Well, I can tell you
So,
right now, everything's staying the same. That's what's made us unique. Speaking Bill.com, obviously we're under their legal umbrella now. They are
Mhm.
doing a fun promotion. If you have any clients on Bill.com, Bill.com, if you have a client that's on Bill.com and they sign up for Divvy by October 31st, Bill.com will issue them a $500 statement credit.
Nice,
So,
nice.
That'll make you a hero, won't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
guys, thanks for coming and joining us today. We will let you know if anyone wants to join. Thanks for giving us the information. This is exciting stuff, I think.
Hey, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Honor and pleasure is all ours. Please have us back anytime.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.